Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in for another Maui Fires update. Before I get started, I do have to ask if you are one that wants justice for the people of Maui, want to get to the bottom of this tragedy, want truth, and want to find out what actually happened and want to keep this story alive, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It really helps. It lets the world know that we have not forgotten about the victims of this tragedy, and we won't just let this be swept under the rug. I just had to say that. Okay, so there's two things I'm going to be going over today. One, I'm going to be sharing with you some new developments as far as some legal matters, and then I have some information provided by someone who is very kind of tuned in to the residents and people who are on the ground in Lahaina. So I'll do that towards the end. But I do want to start out with some good news, and this is the first time since I heard about this tragedy that I have hope. I have hope that the truth will come out and justice will be served. And one of those things that happened recently, so Maui opened a lawsuit against HECO, which is Hawaiian Electric Company. So they're blaming the electric company for this problem, for this tragedy. So then HECO comes out and publicly says that it's irresponsible for the county of Maui to file this suit if a proper investigation was not done. So they're saying, if you want to sue us, go out, prove it, do your investigation, and then we'll see what happens. So they're fighting, putting the blame on one another. I have not personally seen evidence of the power lines causing fire. I have seen pictures of the power lines down. That doesn't mean that started a fire, though. And something else that the electric company is claiming now. So there were two fires on the day of August 8th. Well, they're referred to as the morning and the afternoon fire. The afternoon fire is the one that caused the destruction to Lahaina town. The first one was a smaller one. It was deemed contained early on in the day. So that one, HECO is not saying that they turned off the electric grid, but they are claiming that before the afternoon one started, they had already shut down the power. And they're going to have to look into this and find proof. I have not heard an answer. One side is saying that they didn't, one side is saying they did. So hopefully we will get down to the truth and find out what really happened. Okay, but that to me is a very positive thing. So that is one investigation. Okay, and then I saw a couple of clips of a representative from Oahu named Diamond Garcia. He's a congressman from the west side of Oahu, and he is publicly asking for the legislative branch of government to open up an individual investigation to figure this whole thing out. I also learned that about 2 weeks ago, so 1 week after the fire, the Attorney General opened up their own investigation. So there supposedly has been an investigation going on, although it happened a week after, which I think is a little late. I think they should have started something right away, but that's in the past. And he is asking for both the House of Representatives and the Senate to appoint a bipartisan team to lead this investigation. And when they get this information, he's hoping that we can take that to federal court. So he's just in the beginning. He's just publicly saying, let's do this, and he needs support. I've actually reached out to him and asked if he wanted to partner with me in some way. I haven't heard back, but I am all for that happening. And I have a feeling if you're watching this, you are as well. Oh, a couple of really interesting things I heard during that interview. He was asked about the police blockade during the fire. Did the police block the roads from getting out of Lahaina, and were people turned back towards the fire during that time? And he says he's heard from multiple witnesses, people that experienced that, and he is confident that that did happen. Okay. He was also asked this question. I'll tell you how he answered it, but they asked him, do you think that it was intentional that people were held in Lahaina during the fire? And he gave a very fair answer. He says he doesn't know. I don't think no one really knows. Maybe someone does, but he wants to find out. And I want to know, and I'm sure a lot of you out there want to know. And that will be huge. If it is found there has been communication to the police to do this, to make these blocks and direct traffic towards the fire for the sake of hurting and killing these people, that is huge. That turns this into murder. It turns it into a massacre, not a natural disaster. And if you've been watching me, you know that I don't feel like this happened naturally. I do think this whole situation was choreographed. I don't know about every little thing, but I do think a lot of these things that we saw during the fire and after were intentional. So that is my opinion on that. Okay, so I have a contact in Maui. His name is Bennett DeBeer, and he's an activist, and he's, kind of tuned in to the people in Lahaina, and he knows people that have been in the burn zone, have property or have things in that area. And he said a friend of his owns a boat in the Lahaina harbor, and he was able to get into that area the day after the fires. And this is what two things that he reported that I wasn't quite aware of, but he does claim he saw deceased charred bodies in the street. He also says he smelled a very strong odor, and it was a chemical odor. So I can't tell you what that is. It could be, I know there's a lot of talk about some kind of chemical used to accelerate the fire. I'm not familiar with what that is and what it smells like. It could be that. It could be it could be a number of things that were causing that smell. It could have been a combination. I just don't know, but I did want to share that information with you guys. And something else he did say is that from people on the ground that FEMA is helping victims find Airbnbs and hotels. So I think FEMA, they're a little late to the game, but it seems like they're doing what they're there for. Okay. So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. I have another video planned that I'm really, really excited about. It will help us understand more about what happened that day. I don't want to give it away, but I'm working on really digging in to the details and finding out the possibilities and what didn't happen, what did happen, things along those lines. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you all for all the support that you have given my channel, and I will see you guys soon.